You know, it's the same as like was it Romans 1 or 2? I think it was 1, where it speaks about Jews, devout men coming out of every nation. Okay, and it runs through the list of those men that came out of all those different nations, man.
2.
Is it 2? You know, they wouldn't have all looked like, you know, ancient Israelites. You know what I mean? They've been in them lands for a long time, man. You know what I mean? So they could look a bit different, a bit lighter, whatever it is. You know, speaking that language. Because it's easy to call someone, oh yeah, he's an Edomite because he speaks Urdu or whatever they speak. It's easy to say that. Because from the outside of things, yeah, he sounds like a heathen. He dresses like a heathen. He must be a heathen. But you don't know that. You don't know that for 100% sure, man. And it's the same with this scripture here, man. Yeah, he might have been dressing up certain ways in these different lands, speaking that language. Well, they were speaking different languages.
Yeah, I got it.
Because he goes on to say that. Okay, but they were Jews, man. They were Israelites. So you could have told just by looking at them that they were Israelites.
Huh.
You know, the Spirit found that out. And then everyone was amazed.
Yeah, everyone was shocked.
You know? Yeah, read that.
Acts 2 and 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven. Now when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded. Because
like these niggas are confounded today.
Yeah. Because that every man heard them speak in his own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans?
Yeah. They were speaking relative language everyone could understand.
And how
somehow.
Yeah, it can't.
The Spirit.
And how hear we every man in our own tongue wherein we were born?
Born in these foreign lands, man.
And they list all those different lands, man. You can just look it up in the 9th and 10th verse and 11th.
Yeah, from vast places on the earth. It says for all nations upon the earth, man.
Can't.
Okay, so like I said, they weren't born in Jerusalem, in Israel. Okay, yet they came because they knew their lineage. Okay, but they weren't born there, so they that could have been many different things. You know, that could have been they however many generations they were there for. You don't know what they were looking like.
No, can't.
Okay, so you couldn't just dismiss someone just because of how they looked. That's not spiritual, man. Okay, and like I said, you don't have no way of telling who anybody is 100%. So you cannot then judge because you're not using spiritual reasoning. You're just going by carnal reasoning. You cannot say anybody is anybody, man, based upon how they look. You're not equipped to do that.
So you know what? You do? You identify a man of the Lord whether he's doing the things which are written.
That's right.
And if he's doing the things which are written, then guess what? There's a good chance that the Lord, the Lord's dealing with him, man. All right.
That's it. And that is, that is the only thing we can go by the Spirit. Okay, all this, how things are deceiving, man. The things we see are deceiving. The eyes are deceiving, man. You have to go by the Spirit. So as I say, we bring out examples now. There's examples even now we could use today. Brothers always putting up examples. In everyday life we have examples shown to us all the time. Sometimes we can catch ourselves thinking, oh, that guy was an Edomite. And then you see something, you're like, shit. He 88,
Yeah, can.
Because sometimes
Jake
hides, man. Jake can hide.
Yeah.
Jake's been hiding for a long time.
Jake can be like every other nation, but no other nation can't be like Jake.
Well, even just that idea of trying to fit in. Okay, we coming in here into UK and that, hey, our ancestors were coming and getting all these white women, man, to have light-skinned children purposefully, so they won't receive persecution.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of backfired. It's still kind of backfired, but but that's still a thing. Yeah. That still happened. Okay, so you got lighter-skinned looking Jakes running about the place, man. They might have got over white women. A lot of them did.
Yeah, can't.
And then you got a lot of white Jake running about, man.
A lot of that wind rush.
And that was just that's more recent time. There's been times that's always been going on, man.
White only pie.
So there's too many examples, and to go through, man. You know what I mean? You guys that can't see it, man, you probably never see it. You'll probably never understand it, man, which just means you're not part of that number, man. You're not part of the elect. You're not ones to receive that spiritual, that sight. But, you know, and man, that's just what it is, man. Israel gonna look like everything on the planet, everybody on the planet. Okay, the way you know is it Israelite or not is by the Spirit.
Okay.
And like I said, 2/3 of that people, it doesn't even matter. They can't get the truth, man. It don't really matter what they look like. It could be the darkest nigga on the planet, and just biceps in the world. It don't matter. You know, could be a valiant man, like, you know, man like MMA bulldog.
Yeah.
You know, it don't matter if he ain't get the truth, man. He gonna be destroyed with everybody else, man. You know, but you know, anyway, man, I'm gonna wrap up anyway. I'm gonna say Shalom. You know, Shalom. I'll catch you boys in the next video, man. Hey, man, we're the Hebrew Israelites, man. We're out.